How many did you get in a tray?
Sorry, what was that?
How many did you get in a tray?
I don't know. We've had 3 each so far.
Does that take the cake, so to speak? Is that your number one now?
Yeah.
Does it surpass the cherry?
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, that's an absolute winner. Hi, Sandra. Fringe is back.
The plaits are out for today. Mainly because my hair's too frizzy.
Yes, Dan, I am. I'll show you the rest of the cake in a minute.
Oh yeah, I didn't realise it's not in shop.
Not in shop, yeah. There you go, to prove I only had 1 slice.
And a slice that I cut as well, not even a slice that you cut.
What am I eating? Cake.
Thanks, V.
Well, I just had to go to Sainsbury's. Yes, Dan. Got it yesterday, I think. Yeah?
It might have been yesterday, might have been the day before.
Yes. We'll talk to you about them. Yeah, just had to pop over to Sainsbury's because Coco is obviously having a hungry evening and she's just been staring at us. So far, she's had 3 chicken wings, which means Argie's also had 3 chicken wings. He's not fussed. Well, are you back for more or are you satisfied now? No, more. You just about see her nose there. You want more?
It's a shame she can't get into frame like Archie does.
No, it's a sweet cake. Right, there you go. Go on, take it. That's it. Good girl. Yes, Archie.
It's all a fork now. We're
Well,
classy.
so I keep washing my fingers. Oh,
Good
God.
cat.
Archie. Oh, God.
Archie's learned to eat off a spoon. Like, probably.
They have lots of raw snacks, yeah. So they go through phases as well. So at the moment, obviously, Coco's having a bit of a growth spurt, hungry stage, whatever it is, and
It might just be the antibiotic.
yeah, the kibble she's just not satisfied right now. So to save her whinging at us for the next hour, I thought I'd go and get him a packet of chicken wings. I'd rather give them that than some junk processed stick. Right. Anyway, evening, folks. Friday Q&A. It is Friday, thankfully. So if you've got any questions, and if you're new to the group or new to the channel, then please feel free to drop a comment in. We'll try and help. There's plenty of people. Hi, Lulu. There's plenty of people in with us as well, all generally sort of following the same lifestyle. So, yeah, they're not having steak then. Even I don't get steak more than like once a week. And I've not had it this week, so that might be tomorrow.
Some of the swale stuff in the freezer.
Yeah, lamb steaks.
Oh, is that what they are?
There's some lamb steaks in there. Yeah, some lamb steaks in there. So anyway, yes, if anyone has any questions, then please feel free to jump in. Otherwise, conversation will just run, and we'll just have a chat. No, both dogs are back.
You can see Archie's face every now and then.
You just think it's Christmas, don't you? You would have been quite happy having your dinner and then going for a snooze.
Excuse you?
You, little trumpet. Right, I'm going to give them another one at the land of the day. What land did you have, Dan? What was it? Right. You actually only have, I mean, there's an odd number. I know neither of you can count, but...
They can when it comes to who gets what food.
Okay. Right, you've got the really big one, all right? Get it? Off you go. You got the small one, all right? Okay.
See, that's called a half, RG.
Right. Okay. Right. We might get some peace now for a little while. We might get some peace. Experiments with some home cooked dog food. Actually, we Ella often bakes or has baked some previous like muffins for them.
I've made
The peanut
RG
muffins.
cupcakes before for his birthday, mostly out of the ingredients were like carrot, courgette, coconut flour, egg, and then the topping was peanut butter and cream cheese.
Right, he loves it.
Past couple of years, birthday has been egg muffins, which have literally just been egg and whatever vegetables at the bottom of the fridge baked in a muffin shape. They don't care. They now celebrate 2 birthdays in a year because obviously you can't celebrate one dog without the other. So they get 2 birthdays. He's back for his other half. See if he can count.
Right, no more. All gone now.
All gone.
All finished, RG.
V says...
Almost, V. Almost. We've been really busy on the other side. In fact, all week. And had appointments today. So I've got another 2 weeks to get everything out of there. It's essentially it's an empty. Well, not empty. It's a closed off room now. But I haven't finished putting everything back together, like painting the floor, painting the walls. So, but we're getting there. We are definitely getting there. Lamb steaks going cheap in Aldi. I thought that was chickens. Went cheap. Went over the head.
Oh, right. Haha. There you go.
Monty loves cupcakes. Talking of cake, let's do this now. It's been missing from the cake list for a few weeks because we've been wanting to panderize it or pandify it or whatever you want to call it.
Even I was surprised when I was cutting into them to just get photos then how spongy it was.
Yeah, it's spongy but obviously firm. Carrot cake is back. The panda carrot is back, or carrot panda. Which way around does it go? Carrot panda or panda
Orange
carrot?
panda.
The orange panda. So anyway, panda carrot cake is back. Obviously, the other cakes don't use nuts as one of the ingredients. Obviously, this one does because walnuts are in there as part of the ingredients. However, it's replaced a lot of the other nuts that in the.
I think we're on a half and half basis of which kind of cakes are nut free and which ones aren't.
Yeah, probably.
Coffee and walnut,
cherry and almond, and this one. So there's 3 with the nuts and there's 3 without the nuts.
Lemons and the chocolate.
Well. No, you've had enough now. That's 5, I think. Can you hold up 5?
Don't have thumbs.
Don't have thumbs. So yeah, carrot cake is back, but we've actually done. Are you going to list them both?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've done the normal slab, which is a 4 portion. So there's your tray, 4 portion. And we've also done one of the rounds. So this won't be a 2-tier, it'll just be a bigger cake. So it'll be a 6 portion. And as Ella said, she'll leave it as 6 because sometimes she's been known to make it into an 8 and people complain that it's a bit too small. Essentially 3.5.
There's a 6 that's cut out there.
Yes, this is a 6. Essentially 3.5 grams of carbs per portion. So they will be on the website later on this evening. So you've got a choice of carrot cakes. And we are working on a few other bits and pieces as well. But carrot cake is something that we've been missing for a little while. Sensible question. Hello, Jan. As long as it's healthy, can you get your protein from as many sources? I can't say that down. Worked out what I should have. So protein from any source, i.e. meat, fish, and eggs. Yeah, so any meat, any fish, any eggs, good protein sources. With each of them, both of them at it. With each of them, you want to go as wide a range. So it doesn't mean that you have to eat steak every day, but having some red meat during the week, as well as obviously, if it's sort of minced beef, if it's sort of a steak, if it's then having chicken breast, chicken thighs. So actually fluctuating your protein sources rather than sticking to one particular one. Because you're going to get, certainly a lot of people avoid too much red meat, your choice. But you are then essentially missing out on the specific minerals that red meat carry. Coco, it's empty. And the other tray is for Ella. Yeah. Good for Ella. Different types of protein. And you won't get enough protein from nuts. So having nuts as part of your lifestyle, absolutely not a problem, but not relying on them.
They're not a protein.
They're not a protein source.
They contain protein. They're not a protein source.
So obviously cheese is a protein source, but it's also a very high fat source as well. So that's why the meat, fish, and the eggs are the best sources to get your protein from.
She's actually sniffling.
Yeah, no. What is? You can't be actually hungry because that's half a kilo of chicken.
Not hungry.
It just shows you're not missing anything, though, Dan, doesn't it? You have a lot of red meat and eggs. It just shows you're not missing out on any minerals at all. What's that? Closing. I would, as all the cakes come with, it's a warning: overconsumption of any of these sweet things will cause digestive issues. They all contain sweetness.
Portions are portions for a reason.
Yes. So you are best to try and stick to your single portion. And obviously you can portion the cake and then freeze it. Yeah. Stick it away so you can have a piece a day. But yeah, you have to be careful because that amount of polyols in one day would be quite damaging. She's just giving me the...
I think she just wants to be involved in the video.
No, she's waiting for food, aren't you? Where's your cheese bone? Or have you eaten that? I haven't got any other bones.
There's a bit of cheese bone over there.
I haven't got any other bone to give you.
Still got a couple of hours for your peanut butter.
Carrot cake is one of those ones for me, which is actually quite a it's like that high risk one, isn't it? So this will get frozen down because there's a lot.
I've got some of the old cakes in the freezer.
So there's a lot of portions there. There's 9 portions there. I'm not sure, would Louis eat that? I don't know if he eats carrot cake or not. I can't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, so the cheese bone, yes, it's from Aldi. Coco likes them. RG just couldn't give a monkeys about them. Coco, can you hear her? I'll absolutely guarantee you that the wrap that they're classing as high protein, I won't say high protein, it'll say a protein, is not keto because it won't be made of proteins and fibers. It will still be made of carbs. Do you want to see if you can find a link to it? But it won't be keto. No, it'll be yes, Sandra, she did. Yes, it'll be made predominantly of gluten first, or wheat flour.
Yeah.
Is it? What's it classed as? What's the
high protein?
So it's classed as high protein.
9.8 grams of protein per gram.
So bear in mind that there's no regulation over this high-low protein. You know, if you're going to promote something as high protein, there isn't a barrier they need to go over. That's just a marketing ploy. Right. You are going to go outside in a second, unfortunately. No. Bed.
The protein is coming from pea protein at 7% and wheat protein at 3.5%. So it's actually just added gluten. Oh, and then more gluten here.
Yeah, more gluten.
But it's predominantly wheat flour.
And that was, just go back to the 100 grams.
Yeah, it's 48 carbs.
48 grams per 100 grams. So it's not even close to being a low carb protein wrap. It is a. Here's the thing with the protein and the protein marketing that's going on in supermarkets now is they're adding in protein to their normal products to allow them to use the term higher protein or a protein wrap. They're not changing the base ingredients. They're just adding in like this pea protein so they've got a marketing tool for it. So not only is it not keto, it's not low carb, and it's of no benefit to you to get that protein. Okay, so what was that? Well, I made your brains I think I'm moldy because I forgot to eat them. Yeah, freeze them, stick them in the fridge. They'll last longer in the fridge, but freeze them down. None of the ingredients, none of the recipes. We use preservatives. We don't even use preservatives at the bakery apart from vinegar in bread, Vit C. We don't use any of the sorbates and the propionates. That's what's in. So when you look at the list of ingredients, and actually somebody shared a screenshot of some bread they picked up a couple of days ago from another company. It's just filled with preservatives and inflammatory ingredients. So it might fit the low carb macros, but it doesn't fit the low carb keto lifestyle. There is a big difference. No, they've not missed the walk yet, V, because they don't tend to go out until a little bit later. I mean, obviously because of the glorious sunshine, or in tonight's case, the thrashing it down. It has just stopped raining. Might actually see if get Louis to take him out for a walk now. Actually, it wouldn't be a bad idea because it has stopped raining now, and it would give her a little something to think about. So potentially the wrap wouldn't have had an impact like that, or it certainly will. I mean, if one of those wraps is more than 20 grams of carbs, there's the first thing. So it depends on what you've had for the rest of the day as well. But obviously, weight is more. That fluctuation of weight is more around hydration levels. So, actually holding on to water. So possibly, but I wouldn't be weighing on a daily basis anyway, just purely because your weight does fluctuate.
Have you done
Is there a trick to kickstarting weight loss? I've been stuck for ages now. So various options, things like doing an alternate day carnivore, so having carbs one day, sticking to 20 or 30 grams, and then going to 0 for the following day, or alternate day fasting, so slightly longer fasting periods. It really depends as to what sort of regime you've been sticking to recently. Because you do need to sort of break the regime. You don't just want to do the same thing every single week, month on, month off. So have a look at what can you change, whether it's they're going out for a walk in a second. Using different tools. Tool is, can you fast for a little? Do a little bit more fasting? Do you change your eating habits around? Do you need exercise? Do you need a refeed day? Do you need a day where you break that cycle of 18-6 and you don't fast at all, and then you follow it up with a longer fast? It's just mixing it up, really. Go on. Yeah, cakes are absolutely great defrosted. I mean, if you've made them fresh, especially. Yeah, you had quite a few different wraps, didn't you, Emma? She had three different flavors. Raining sideways. I started building it up this morning. We're all right here now. It has been raining a lot and heavily all day.
And it's raining all day tomorrow.
Right. Okay. But yeah, this will at least distract them. Try and keep them out for a good 20 minutes, half hour. Yeah. Thank you. Now it's not raining anyway, especially. Good street walk. Make sure you got bags in there. Bags? Yeah. Anyway, of the electrolytes, yes. Good thinking of wraps. I've just had 2 of the chili wraps with lamb kofta in. I'll post my dinner in a bit. Yeah, that was nice. It's very good. Although I don't think I wake up thinking of wraps. I wake up dreading sometimes the amount of wraps we need to make. But yeah, Dan, I think we've got this for not just for tomorrow, is it? It's for a little while. This crappy weather.
I don't know, actually. Yeah, another week of low 20s.
Okay. Hello, Susan. I've seen you for ages. Wrap nightmares. It's sometimes scary when we go, okay, so today we're going to make 1,000 wraps. Well done, Dan. What distance are you up to today? I know you're into your half marathon section, aren't you? Have you done 13 yet? I'm trying to think of what month he's got. Is it September? His marathon? September, your marathon?
November, I think.
Is it? Oh, right. Okay, I thought it was a little bit earlier than that. Okay, not quite half marathon in yet. A panda's eating them, I wonder. Well, if not the pandas, there's plenty of other people eating them. That's good to see you back. Hope you've been doing well. In the night. All right, I see what you mean. Yeah. Where have my 1,000 panda wraps gone? There's a panda in the corner.
That running panda, I drew with the flag. He just starts running away with a sack of panda wraps.
What else have we got to share this week? I'm trying to think. What else have we been doing apart from? It's Ali. Hello, Ali. Should we wait again? I'm not doing a lot different. Does that mean you mix it up to? Is that what you means? Mixing it up to keep the weight gain under control.
Oh, good point. I didn't read it that way, but now I am.
Yeah. Well, again, it's the getting stuck into the same routine and then sort of relaxing a little bit too much, maybe sometimes.
I do think if you're in the right headspace, then tracking a day of your typical eating can be a good eye-opener if you're not used to it.
Yeah, it's easy to graze. Wow, that's tough on the legs. I'm just going to decline that call.
Pandemonium. Yeah, November, 19th of November. Emma's got a big one. 60 mile on the road bike and added in 90 grams of carbs. After 8, just protein for first meal. The keto blood monitor stayed 0.7. I think the extra carbs were used up. Felt I needed them after a few times struggling on the hills again. Going to do it again and test again. It's a great approach.
Yeah.
Test. I found recently, if I have something, I can't really eat anything big first thing in the morning. But
Chicken thighs.
It's either, or not even a full chicken thigh. Usually I just tear a bit off as I'm running out the door to go to the gym. Either that or an egg. Just so I can eat something before I train.
It's crazy how you've now got yourself into the habit of eating a chicken thigh.
I still think it's the salt. I think it's the salt. Because I'm enjoying my pancakes at the moment, which means I only have one meal to get my salt in because I don't drink it. So, yeah. So I eat something very, very small before I train, so that then I can stomach coffee whilst I train and I don't feel dizzy. Oh, so here's what Alison means.
Sorry, I don't raise. Okay. Yeah. So having to do something to keep yourself in the right place.
I think sleep is often overlooked as to how important it is.
Yeah. I found that out recently.
Like very important.
Trying to switch off much earlier, and it sometimes just doesn't work. I've gone through a few days recently where I've completely forgotten to eat during the day, and that's not great actually sometimes, because then when I do sit down, like tonight, I had 4 lamb kofte. No, they're not very big.
It's nowhere near enough protein.
No, but that is essentially what I've had today. I grabbed a bite of chicken. Where did we go? Oh, we went before we went out with the meeting this afternoon. I grabbed a bite of chicken, but yeah, it's sort of, and then you end up eating something like that, and that's like, okay, so it's not the thing to be doing on a daily basis. Go for it, Emma. Right, okay, Alec.
If you need a call,
there's
a 1-to-1 call on the member site.
I'll come round.
We usually have cake.
No, not cake. No cake. Go for it, Emma. I mean, let's face it, deadlifts will do you absolute so much benefit for the hills. Yeah. So does that mean you used to do it then?
Will you be doing deadlifts tomorrow?
Well, I'll be doing deadlifts tomorrow. I'll be, yeah. I finished on 5 at 100 last week, didn't I? So I want to focus on that again. Maybe bring myself back to the one, if I can, 110, but do a couple of reps. I'm not interested in 1 rep maxes.
Darren won't let me do another 1 rep max for another few months.
Right.
Or weeks now.
Yeah.
Actually. Until probably the end of next month. Yeah, it'll be 5 by 70 again tomorrow. Then I did think, if that feels alright for the first set, I'll use the tiny plates and go up to 72.5 because it doesn't feel a lot different, but it's an extra 2.5 kilos. Yeah, the importance of sleep.
It's a bit tough at the moment because it seems to be suffering with hay fever during the night. Woke up with a banging headache and a sore throat this morning, just purely because I had the window open because it's warm, but just awful. My eyes have been hurting all day. My throat has been hurting all day.
See, these last couple of evenings have been my favourite sort of I have the window open. You hear the rain.
Yeah.
It's not too hot. Yeah.
What was Emma's? I think we all know that it's more about form than anything else. Once you've got your form sorted, the weight that you can lift becomes much easier. I was never able to lift 100 as easily as I do now until I actually sort of started to watch her properly and realised that my form was completely wrong.
One thing that's helped me a lot as well is it's still a type of deadlift, but Romanian deadlifts.
Right.
Because that, if you don't use the right muscles, you won't do the movement at all. There's no sort of relaxing, you're constantly holding onto the bar. There's no reset of the rep. You just keep going for the entire set. So you've got to use your core, you've got to use your hamstrings, otherwise bar ain't going to move properly.
Yeah.
And so then when you come to conventional deadlift, it works in the same way. I don't know what that means.
No, me neither. You have to
it reminds me of Asgard.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, don't know. What's the benefits of deadlifting? Other than the fact that it's the biggest,
it's very fun.
it's the biggest muscles in the body, so that they actually sort of by developing those muscles, you improve your overall health anyway. But yeah, strength, obviously, it's the main set of muscles that you're going to use to get yourself in and around the house. So up the stairs, down the stairs.
The 3 powerlifting moves, squat, bench, deadlift, they're all quite strenuous on the central nervous system. So you train your central nervous system to deal with more stress, which means you can pick up very heavy things in real life and not suffer as much.
Yeah. You teach yourself, don't you, to pick things up properly. So you learn how to brace yourself rather than, again, bending with the back, pulling with the back.
One of the best things I've learned is about bracing is if you think about sort of the way your skeleton is, you've got a really squishy part here. So the only bone is the spine. And so you've got to make the squishy part rock solid, otherwise everything else is compromised. So that's why you brace, and you almost like, it's what weightlifting belts are like. You almost push outwards against the belt.
Yeah.
And it's not just you pushing out that way, we're pushing out that way, it's all around. And then you sort of hold everything in and then you lift. Yeah, I've
not used a belt. Certainly since we've started doing this many years ago, when I used to do it, I always used to use a belt. Squats and
because it can help with bracing. If you don't know to brace in the first place, a belt's just going to be a plaster to something that you need to fix yourself. It's only back-cracking stuff if you do it without
bracing
properly. And if you'll only hurt your back if you lift way out of your ability. If you go gradually, like tomorrow I'll be lifting 70 kilos, hopefully. But I didn't start with 70, I started with 35 and I couldn't lift that off the floor. 27 actually, not 35. Yeah, 27 because it was the tiny bar that we've got.
Right. Wow.
One of them and a couple of the metal plates.
Wow.
You don't just go from 27 to 70. I mean, it would be silly. It's one of the fundamental lifts that I will never stop doing because it's too beneficial.
Yeah.
When I'm lifting bread trays, and I don't have a very big wingspan, so if I'm holding a bread tray, I can't move much. So I've got to rely on my back to move around rather than sort of, like hoisting it with my arms, because my arms are already out like this. It's like me trying to lateral raise.
Yeah.
You can't lateral raise much. So it's too beneficial now to stop doing it.
Amazing how many exercises you can do with a bread tray.
I know, yeah.
I can do an overhead raise.
I can't get there quite yet because the tray's too big.
Yeah.
I can't get out. But yeah.
Yeah, it's funny actually. You put it into sort of normal life, and you realise that going into a deadlift position to pick up trays and boxes, being able to lift weights above your head. Well, there's the press.
It is a very good ego boost when you get a delivery of a big box and the driver goes, "Do you want help?" "No, I'm fine, mate." I went to IKEA and I was picking up 30-something kilo boxes of desks and stuff. It's a good ego boost. Feels good.
I think to V's point there about picking, she's to pick up 20 kilos and not struggle. It depends what the 20 kilos comes packaged in, because if it comes in packaged in a boxer dog, then it's actually quite difficult to pick up. If it comes
Fun fact, Coco's almost 30 now.
If it comes packaged in a box with handles, then it's actually much easier. But yeah, so it does depend what that 20 kilos comes in. Deadlifting, obviously, the weight isn't trying to move. You are supposed to be, it's got grips to it as well, so it is different. What?
And I was talking about the core. I was like, "Oh, this is the squishy jump."
The thing is, we all have our core muscles, and it doesn't matter what's on the outside of it. The core muscles are what you're trying to sort of strengthen. So exercising. Thank you, Dan. So exercising, and certainly the Sunday session, the core and floor, it does focus on. It's not it's not a hot, sweaty class. It can sometimes get a little bit sort of warm and heart raising, but it's you can exercise the core standing, seated, and on the floor. Yeah, you don't have to sort of just do crunches. You can exercise your core by standing and doing certain movements. See, I've it's a skill from long ago in the hotels doing room service. I can balance trays on my shoulder. I balance boxes on my shoulder and now bread trays, and I can balance usually 2 bread trays stacked. It depends what's in them actually. But yeah, there's do you know what? It's never too late to actually start doing a little bit of lifting. And you can use all sorts of things. I mean, even if it's just getting a bucket of water or a 5-litre container that you actually hold in one hand and do essentially what is a farmer's walk. So you're off balance and you're having to correct your balance. So you've got weight in one hand, it's going to pull you down, and you have to correct yourself. That's the whole point of something like that exercise. Next time I build a shed,
as long as it's a shed that's no higher than 5 foot.
Yeah, and don't give her a hammer and nails because.
I built my desk. I used a hammer for that.
It's supposed to be screws. You don't use a hammer on a desk.
Yeah, no, I needed to use a hammer because there were things that go on both sides.
Oh, the doweling.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I didn't just use a hammer because I needed. Everything else was twisting. I needed
screws.
To use a hammer. That thing.
Okay, twisting. Twisting nails.
Some of them twisted.
Some of the nails
and some
twisted.
Of them locked into each other on either side.
You hammered in, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
I'm happy now. My desk has been sturdy for 6 months.
I hope you clean the floor after that, Dan. You all right? Notes in my work. Oh, right. Okay. I was trying to think how do you write notes while you're driving? All right. You write notes to yourself to remind yourself to brace your core. Okay. Actually, yeah, because when we get in our cars, we usually sort of like slump back, don't we, rather than sitting up. So it's always best to have your chair sort of more upright.
I don't really have a choice.
No, you don't. I tried getting into the car last night. I mean, granted, I am not very tall. I mean, but it's ridiculous.
My chair is on the highest
I
setting.
could barely get my sort of my ankle into the gap. Never mind my knee. It's a bit like Gru. He gets in the car and it's like this. He's
yes, a shrink raise.
Pull it back. Oh god, I can breathe now. Right, go on. The panda workout. I have no idea what the panda workout is, Emma. I'm thinking. Well, let's
just
try.
loads of roly polies.
Yeah.
I mean, pandas aren't very
energetic for one. Yeah.
It's just for an hour you just roll around on the floor and then sleep.
Yeah, there's lots of panda gifs and memes that have been sort of handed backwards and forwards recently. So, okay, there you go. Proper sensible question, Sophie. Where have you been all evening, eh? What length of time of strength training would you recommend for greatest effect? Any strength training, and I mean,
Depends on how much you like to procrastinate between your sets.
Yeah, no.
Sometimes it can take me 2 hours.
Yeah, you can do. I mean, I do strength training in the PTs, and it's a half an hour, and we do all over body, or sometimes we'll just focus on upper body. Occasionally, we'll just focus on legs. But you can broaden that out if you have more time. You can sort of focus on more reps on certain areas to build strength, but you can sort of overdo it in one session, so you'd have to build the time up. If you are new to it, then you would only start with half an hour, because the worst thing is that, and it will happen if you only do half an hour. If you do your first session and it's half an hour, you're going to suffer some DOMs. And you want to be able to get back to it. If you try and do a 2-3 hour set, the actual the DOMs that you'll feel a couple of days later might end up putting you off. So the idea about you sort of doing a little bit each day is better than trying to do a 2-hour session 1 day a week. Breaking it up, having 20 minutes of shoulders and arms, 20 minutes of legs and core, break it up into smaller sections rather than trying to lump it all into one big 2-hour set. And you can do it around the house. I mean, you don't need a whole set of weights. Floor exercises, body weight exercises are one of the best things that everyone can do. Oh dear.
They're in trouble.
They're in trouble.
Go to bed.
It's been a nightmare.
I like this. I'm a true panda. Rolling 100%. You got it.
Yeah, if you haven't got sets of weights, then actually don't worry about it, because you can do a huge amount of body weight exercises. Reduced resistance bands as well, brilliant. They're great for time under tension exercises. So rather than when you use weights, there's always a point of the weight or the movement where the weight is negligible. So you're doing a curl, part of the curl is essentially wasted. We're using a band, it's always under tension. So bands are great, and you can do a huge amount at home. You don't need to go to a gym. Get a door anchor or a window anchor, and you can do all sorts of power moves with them. Bottles of water, great. Anything. I mean, we've had blimey, Angie turned up recently with a pair of boots. They were the only things she had available to come and do a weighted session while she was out on the road. She had a pair of boots.
We've had like vegetables in carrier bags as kettlebells.
Yeah. So don't let the lack of an Olympic weightlifting bar and discs put you off doing a bit of weightlifting, because everything has weight to it. 5 litre jugs. That's what I was thinking about, actually, V. The 5 litre, the handle jugs of ACV or whatever you can get hold of. Boot camp. Do you know what, Sandra? I wish I'd have thought about that on the day. Honestly. I was just really happy that Angie just went, yeah, okay, I'm going to use boots. I haven't got weights, I'm going to use boots. See you later, Dan. Have a good run.
You should do a session where you just use different items from around the house.
I have thought about
So
that.
you could use a sack of the dog food.
Well, the small ones.
No, the 12-kilo ones. Sling it over your shoulders. You just do squats.
Yeah, the sandbags and
You
that
could
sort
use
of things.
a dog.
And use our dog, yeah. Put the harness on and just do a shoulder lift.
Neither of them like being picked up now. By me, at least.
Oh, yeah. She doesn't have a choice sometimes.
No, when I went to weigher.
Oh, right.
And sort of picked her up. And fair enough, I woke her up from a nap because I needed to weigh her. And she wasn't happy with me. And then she wriggled about constantly. I don't think I could pick Arjun now.
No.
His limbs are too long.
You have to sort of scoop him up.
Yeah.
Round the front, round the back, scoop him up. Wing it weights. Yeah, actually, do you know what? That's a great name for a session. Wing it weights. Oh, I said I'd do a particular session on Sunday and I forgot what it is now. Any of the members remember what I said about Sunday session? Let me know. Second one. There was something I was going to do. Wing it weights, I like. Cabbage dumbbells. It's a great idea, Emma. It's a great idea. It's more like kettlebells, though, isn't it? Can't really
Unless you get a really, really strong skewer stick and you stab 2 cabbages, one on either side, and then you've got a bar.
True.
I don't know where you find a really strong skewer stick
No.
from. Maybe a metal one, I suppose.
Yeah.
A bit hard to hold on to.
I think she's had a long week.
Me.
No, Emma. Cabbage dumbbells. Cake crunches. I think they're different things, aren't they?
At the top of every crunch and it's like, okay.
Who's copywriting? I guess kettles with water are heavy. Just don't boil it first and then swing it around. All right, so wing it weights will be a session soon. We'll do that. I'll have to put some thought into the exercises that we can do. I mean, a pattern with a handle you could swing.
Yeah, maybe even to sort of do a waiver.
Oh, there's a death waiver on anyway. So if you kill somebody swinging a pan around, it's nothing to do with me. I mean, clear the space. Hello, Coco. You back?
We're back
Hello.
in your usual spot.
Yes.
Actually, closer.
You can wait
Personal
just a
space
few more
bubble has
minutes
been
now, yeah?
invaded.
Then we'll come and sit down with you. You wet? No, you're not. That's surprising. Right. Anything we need to share about the weekend? What's going on? Anything? Anyone live over the weekend?
No lives.
No lives.
They've all been during the week this
Wow.
week.
No Sunday session, no?
Not batch cook, no.
No. Right. Okay. Bruce with the cage. Cake. Announcement cake. Carrot cake, obviously. Carrot cake. Very lovely panda carrot cake. We've been playing around with a few other things, but we're nowhere near ready to make announcements. We literally got Wednesday afternoon where we were able to do a little bit of product testing. Liam had already tried this out a few weeks ago, but we just hadn't written the recipe up. So that's why it's took a little bit longer. Is the recipe available? Not yet, but it will be. Don't worry. All we've done so far is write up the bulk recipe. But if you've got panda flour, I'll see what I can do tonight. I'll see what I can do about breaking it down. It's actually very. I mean, we've got a panda recipe.
Panda cake recipes there.
Yeah, so
it's
it's a small adaptation. It's a small adaptation to like the standard coffee cake or things like that. It doesn't take us many goes, Jan. I mean, cake-wise, it's fairly straightforward because you know what the cake batter is supposed to look like, and they're fairly quick cooks. So 20-minute, bake. So you can actually sort of do a trial within an hour. Bread, totally different, because every dough's different. You don't know whether it's going to rise. You've got to give it 40 minutes to an hour to bake. So it's very much that bread is trial and error, absolutely trial and error. Tracy made a book using panda for
the strawberry galette.
Oh, okay, right, yes. Yeah, no, we're going to go through many of the recipes, actually. Sorry, hello, Miriam. We're going to go through many of the recipes where we've potentially previously used a pastry made, using coconut flour or ground almonds or something, just because this is the panda's more flexible, more authentic.
Come say hi to Miriam.
She just wants.
She wants to come up.
Right, come on.
You know, she moves her feet around.
Come here. Come on. Come and say hello. Rigid to the floor. Rigid to the floor.
She's got a nice shaved eyebrow, which I don't think has been debuted on YouTube yet.
Come on. Come and say hello. Come on. No, she's being stubborn. Absolutely stubborn. Yes, hello, Coco. But she doesn't want to play tonight. She just wants to eat. I've forgotten now. Yeah, carrot cake recipe. I'll see what I can do tonight. We're gonna have a quick chat now. There's only one chicken wing left. Otherwise, we're cracking into the chicken thighs that I bought for Ella. So that'll be her breakfast.
Come here.
Happy birthday, Miriam. I made you a cake. And they ate some as well. Really nice. Yeah. Right. We'll bugger off before she properly starts to whinge again. Thank you for joining in. Yes, let's all wish Miriam happy birthday. And all sing along at home. No, it was coffee, actually. I finished off my coffee. And it was right at the beginning. It was an hour ago, Miriam. I mean, come on. Right, we'll see you next week. We'll be back with some more cooking sessions. No idea what yet. Yeah, I don't know what day are we doing next week. I've got members class on Tuesday. Oh, actually, and I did a session on Wednesday this week where we did a recipe that Jan sent in, which was really good. It worked as a hot dish, Jan, but cold, I preferred it so much. It was just beautiful, really, really good. Great little sort of side snack for a salad. So it was like what do we call it? A cabbage casserole in the end.
Oh, I didn't change it. It was cabbage bake.
Oh, cabbage bake, whatever. It's cabbage, carrots, and leeks, shredded, baked with a batter around it. Really, really good as a cold dish. So perfect as I say, as a side for a salad or something. If anyone's got any recipes that you think, okay, I'd like to, change it into a low-carb keto recipe, ping it through to us and I'll have a look at it. Because if I can do it on a live, I don't mind. I don't mind if something goes wrong, and I have to sort of, correct it there and then. So just ping it through. We'll always have a look at it. But yeah, that cabbage bake was really good. Great little side dish. Right. Thank you very much. I'll see you after the weekend. I'm going to go and see if I can. Yes, I'm going to go spend some time with Coco. Although I'm pretty sure that all she wants is more chicken. All right. Good night, folks.
Yeah, okay.